Okay. What was your toughest challenge during the competition? We're talking about the Pan American Championships that you had won, and wanted to see what was the toughest challenge during those competitions.
Well, the toughest challenge is obviously, you know, at you get to a certain level and stuff too, that the competitors are all very skilled. Guys have been training for a long time, so the toughest challenge is always, you know, it's different because when you're training with guys that you know, or other guys with Gracie Baja, that you kind of know their style and stuff too. The guys that I'd never seen before, had no idea. The guy that I fought in the finals was an Australian guy who actually has a school in the Philippines. So I had no idea who he was and stuff too. So going against someone you don't know and stuff too, and maybe what he likes to do and this kind of style. So a big guy, yeah, I thought that was the super heavyweight. It's over 221. The guy was about 255, 260, real strong guy. And so that's kind of nerve-wracking and stuff too, because obviously because most of the guys, some of the guys that we have such a big federation, sometimes some of the guys you might say, oh, I competed against a guy, or I competed against, but no one knew who the guy was. So that was kind of a challenge. That was kind of an interesting thing because right away you have to make your adjustments and stuff too, and you have to believe in what obviously what you were taught.
During the match, at what point during the match do you feel like, hey, you know what, I got this guy? Or actually, the other part of it
you feel like usually right from within for the first minute you can tell right away, like you kind of feel like, okay, I know I can implement and impose my will and what I want to do and stuff too, and I feel like this technique will work against somebody. So to me, you'll kind of know right away, but again, the beauty of jiu-jitsu is that things change very quickly. They call it a human chess game because it is strategy. Okay. Because basically everyone at that level, everyone's tough at that level. So physically tough and everything, and everyone has a certain skill level. So at that point, it's all strategy. On a place, where how am I going to set them up for something that I want? So that becomes a real hard part and stuff too, and the most enjoyable part. That becomes a cerebral, intellectual part of the martial arts.
Now you mentioned before that you were injuries. The injuries is what kind of the person that was rehabilitating you and getting into kind of got you motivated into it.
Correct.
But during competition, did you suffer any injuries during those competitions on these championship rides? That
absolutely. Injuries to my back. Injuries to my hand. Those are common things.
In the middle of the match, there was
no, not during the middle. Actually, right before I competed. Actually, those are kind of things that you have to learn to struggle with. And I think it's just like anything in life. There's nothing. If you wait for everything to be perfectly aligned, you know what I mean? It's just never going to happen. It may happen, but the majority of things, even like in life, it's just you're going to feel there's going to be hardships, and things going to be tough, and you got to just persevere through it. And believe in yourself. So to me, that's a big part of the martial arts also too.
What is it like to be a champion and winning a gold medal?
It's a nice feeling to win something at that level, especially the Pan Americans and the world. Those are really nice, prestigious things and stuff too. Those are very, very nice. But to me, it's not an indication of that you're the best. But it is an indication if you worked hard and at that day, that moment, you were the best against your opponent. But the reality is and stuff too is that, who knows, that same guy can go against this year and the guy can smash me. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. And that's one of the things we always try to learn also too in the martial arts and stuff too. That's there's always somebody better. And so you always have to take the approach of like I got to just work harder. And I was successful that day, but it doesn't mean that it's going to always be that way.
You're not competing anymore, though, of course. Now, are you?
I'm going to compete the nationals in September, and I'll do the Worlds no gi again this year. So I was going to do the Pan Americans, but again, I had hurt my back. I'd had some back problems and stuff too, so some injuries and stuff too. And unfortunately, I hurt it right before the Pan Americans a few months ago. So.
Is it televised? I mean, is there a way to be able to watch it?
They're streamlined. There's a company called budovideos.com, and they streamline them all and stuff too, so you can actually see them. They're huge events. They're usually around between 2,000 to 3,000 competitors alone just to compete.
And what's the name of that site again? What is it?
It's the site is budovideos.com.
Budovideos.com.
Yeah,
how do you spell that?
It's BUDO videos.com.
Okay.
And that one they have it every year now. They stream it and stuff too, and I think it's free as a matter of fact. And they'll show all the major matches and everything. And it's held at the Pyramid in Long Beach, which is a huge venue.
Oh, it's down in Long Beach. They're holding it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they up till about 5 years ago, they always had it in Brazil, and then now they're having them in Long Beach.
Well, why do they move it here? You think?
Well, here's really the Mecca of jiu-jitsu now, especially outside of Brazil. This is the place now. All the some of the top instructors, like Gracie Baja, is very successful in Brazil. Now they've opened up schools here and a lot of instructors. So, like Professor Fabio Leopoldo, our head instructor, moved here a few years ago, and said now we've got 2 very successful schools under his umbrella, and so this is now a place of some of the top jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world, all train here.
You became a professor of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Why?
Well, I felt that I was exposed, like I said, being exposed to Master Carlos Gracie Jr. and my teacher Marcia Fatoza, and their inspiration always to me is to to give something back, and to me this lifestyle and the art itself is such a really rich and deep art that I think it can benefit anybody. It doesn't have to be a professional athlete, world-class athlete, or just anybody who has who's struggling through life. We all do, and it's a great way of being able to get through certain issues that you might have within yourself and stuff too. Unlike a team atmosphere where it's you depend on your teammate for things. As like when I played basketball, this is different. This is something within yourself. It becomes, to me, it's a very Zen thing, and not in the sense of like people go, oh, it's Zen, but I mean like really internally looking at your issues and struggles that you have, and to become a better person, because you can't hide anything on the mat.
So are these things that you would tell someone who, like, if you wanted to inspire someone to learn martial arts, is that exactly what you would tell them, or how would you?
Oh, absolutely. And I would tell them that it's a great journey. And it's a journey that it's a lifelong journey. Sports, you can only play basketball, and you can only play football or baseball for a certain amount of time. You get to a certain level, that's it. In martial arts, you can do martial arts until your 80s, 90s, literally to the day you pass away.
And competing too.
You can compete, absolutely. They have tournaments. They're all by age groups and stuff too. So they have tournaments in Brazil. They have a tournament that's for guys 60 and up. So it's a very common thing. So it's not an uncommon situation at all.
Okay.
And there was the great founder of Aikido, Ho Sensei, practiced till 2 days before he passed away. And they said that he's still amazing. And if you see videos of him, it's amazing a man at that age can move like that. I'm sorry.
No, okay, that's fine.
So. So it's excuse me, and so to me, martial arts to me it is like a religion, and there's a depthness and commitment to it that you can leave, and it can benefit your life. I've yet to meet somebody in my life that is really committed to do martial arts that didn't feel fulfilled in every way, and I've lived in Japan and stuff too, and I've seen the influence of it. And I'd always, to anybody who comes in, especially people, like I said, we have students that they have certain personal problems and stuff too, and I've seen them work through it by their training and their commitment to do this. So. Cool.
Raul, I tell you, this has been I really enjoyed having a conversation with you and just learning, because now I'm just like, maybe I need to become a champion. You know what I mean?
You just need to come and train. Don't worry about being a champion. Just come and train.
Hey man, trying to get there. Looking at everything, right?
Yeah, the champion, that stuff. The great champions like Professor Fabio Leopoldo, you can see all the medals and stuff too. Professor Fabio's a 3-time world champion and stuff too. As you can see, all the medals of both gi and no gi. So I highly recommend everyone to come in and train.
Well, maybe I'll just imagine that. That'd be good. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
All right, Curtis.
Matter of fact, let's take a tour of this place.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
We'll give you a tour at Gracie Barra, Thousand Oaks.
Cool.